Just as sound has number of pitches, low pitch and high pitch, and higher pitch and highest pitch. And you must have seen that when voice is articulated in different pitches, it has different powers. In a crowd, for example, anybody who shouts loudest can be heard because it's a great power. Even in a song, for example, when some good singer sings at a very high pitch, you will see the magical effect of that high pitch. You have seen Lata Mangeshkar, for example, at what high pitch she can take her voice, and then you can see the magical effect of that high pitch. Every pitch has an effect. Even slow pitch also has an effect, high pitch also has an effect. Even silence also has an effect. Where there is no pitch at all, complete silence, even that has an effect. A very good speaker, a very good singer knows how to use silence also in speech or in singing. It has its right effect if suddenly there is a song going on and suddenly there is a drop in the sound. It has a magical effect. And then again the sound begins. This kind of combination of pitches has a great effect. Now similarly in the process of thinking, you have low pitch, high pitch, higher pitch, highest pitch, and also experience of silence. And every pitch of thinking has its own effect, which many of us will have never tried actually. You must have seen, for example, while watching a film, there are many kinds of dialogues. And some very long dialogues have a tremendous effect. If somebody can speak for 10 minutes at a stretch with a certain modulation of his speech, a long process of thinking, all compressed in 10 minutes time, and see the effect of it on your brain. Make an experiment. Listen to dialogues, short dialogue, murmur of a dialogue, a kind of a dialogue which is very whispering dialogue, a dialogue which is very forceful. You must have seen some dialogues in which you are presented with a legal case in a courtroom, and you can see how the lawyers argue the cases. And there are dialogues of arguments, and they have different effects according to the pitches of your thought. At what level the thought goes. You must have seen that every thought has an image. You analyze your thoughts. Behind every thought you will find an image. And the moment you hear a word, the image crosses your mind. If you are a very good thinker, you will see, if you just find some time when you watch somebody speaking, and as the words go on flowing from the speaker, you will watch how many images are formed in your mind. And these images create in your consciousness a complete picture of what is being conveyed. You must have seen some people speak at length and make no effect on you. Some people speak a few words and make a great effect on you. Some people make very big speeches and also make very big effects. Why? Because the images which are produced by your thought movements, by expressions of thoughts, pictures, ideas become clearer. It is like seeing hundreds of photographs in one sight, as it were, and see the effect that 100 photographs can make on you. The image is reinforced once again. Another photograph, and again the image is reiterated, re-emphasized. In this manner you will find that various images which are produced when a thought is expressed, your understanding is affected. Now meditation is nothing but a process of repeating certain ideas in a slow motion, in a regulated motion, in a steady motion, with complete concentration, so that ideas which are not relevant to that idea are not allowed to cross. And this is the most important part of meditation. You take a line of thought and you allow only the thoughts which are relevant to that line of thought. You don't allow other lines of thought to cross. And then see how this thought flows like a river, steadily, quietly, with great attention towards its goal. And when this is done, you will find that every meditation discovers its target. And this is a very important point. Every meditation has a target. It is like a bullet which is released from the gun, and if your power is very great, you can see the speed by which the bullet runs and reaches exactly the bullseye, the target. Similarly, every process of meditation has a bullseye, a certain object. You know, even in your classroom, you find how you understand a thing when you are attentive and how you don't understand when you are not attentive. Why? Because when you are attentive, your thought movement moves slowly, steadily, regularly, without any disturbance from any other side, and it really grasps what is being said. The target, what the teacher wants to communicate to you is really grasped. That is your target. You understand. This is a great discovery, that concentration is the key to knowledge. If you want to understand anything, if you want to grasp anything, if you want to possess the object of your knowledge, concentrate on it. Concentrated process of thought is what is called meditation, dhimahi. So when this mantra says, we are meditating, it means that there is here a process of steady, concentrated, attentive process of a thought which goes straight on the object. Now, what is the object? This mantra says, what is the object? The object is Bhargaha Varenyam. This is the object. The object is expressed in 3 words. Tat Varenyam Bhargaha. We are meditating on Tat, on that light, Bhargaha, on that luster. On that luster which is Varenyam, which is the highest, most blessed. We are meditating on a target, on an object, which is the highest luster, that highest, most blessed luster of what? Savituhu Devasya, of that God, Devasya, of that God who is known as Savitri, of the sun. We are meditating on that most blessed light of the God that we know as sun. Now, if you know the meaning and then you recite, you will also try to do the same meditation yourself. It's not only recitation which is important. Once you recite, then you be quiet and you also learn how to meditate. You try to see that on your screen of thought, there is only one important word lying. Varenyam Bhargaha Tat. All the time. Tat Varenyam Bhargaha. All the time let this be on your screen. Let this word go on repeating. We are meditating on that most blessed light, luster. Then, in the second phase of our meditation, let meditation be longer. And you say, let us meditate on that most blessed luster of God which is known as sun. Now the moment you hear the word sun, surely in your mind there will be image of the sun. And that is very helpful. Why? Because the moment you think of sun, you will have 3 ideas arising in your mind. One is that there is all light. You must have seen that light is a most precious gift that one can have in the world. If you look at the whole universe and you ask, how much is the light in this whole universe? Then you will discover that the larger portion of the world is dark. We don't normally think of it because our sunlight is most of the time in our waking life, we see light everywhere. So we are so familiar with the light that we don't think the great importance of light. To be familiar is to remain very often in a state of ignorance. To break the familiarity and to see the strangeness of that which is familiar, the newness of that which is familiar, gives you an opening into the doors of knowledge. So if you can really see how much is the darkness in the world, and then to find that, oh, there is one sun before us which is absolutely light and light and light. There is no darkness. To think of an object which is entirely luminous, to think of it, imagine. Normally we don't think of the sun at all because it's such a near friend of ours. Whenever you in our waking life, you open your eyes, you can see sun anywhere. So we don't give a lot of importance to it. But imagine that there is available to our consciousness, experience, an object which is entirely luminous. You don't have to put any kind of torch to see that sun. It is self-luminous, not only luminous but self-luminous. This self-luminosity itself is a great thing to understand. Secondly, you will find that in the sun there are thousands of rays. It's also very interesting. Sun is one, but it is capable of thousands of rays. It's a mystery how one object can throw thousands of rays. Thirdly, you find that all these rays are united in that one object. Of course, here the sun rays are all scattered all over here. But if you go straight into the origin, you find all of them united. Now, this image of the sun is very important. The Vedic rishis discovered that we are all basically living in darkness. We are all ignorant. But we can rise into knowledge. And this knowledge, when you reach the top of the knowledge, it will be similar to the sunlight. It will be luminous. Everything becomes clear. There is no obscurity in it. And in that knowledge you will see multiplicity. You will see all, as it were. And you will see them all united. And the Vedic rishis gave a criterion. When can you say that you have known? There are many people in the world who claim, I have knowledge. I know, I know, I know. This is the usual refrain that you find from all over the world among many people. The Vedic rishis told you, you should go to that individual who says that his knowledge is the knowledge which is comparable to the light of the sun. If you really want to be guided, if you really want that there is no mistake, then Vedic rishis have given you this idea that there is a light, the most blessed light, which is similar to the light of the sun. The word sun is used as in poems like a symbol. Actually speaking, when the Vedic rishis say we are meditating upon the light, the cherished light of that sun, The word sun actually stands for not this sun that we physically see. They have seen, they have experienced in the highest realm. We spoke of Bhurvubhuvasva at the beginning. There is a physical world, a higher world, and a still higher world, and still higher world, and still a higher world. And the highest knowledge which they gained is symbolized by them by the word Savitu. So this mantra simply says, we are meditating upon the light, the most cherished light, upon that cherished light of the sun, which is God. Then, why do we see that light? Why do we meditate on that light? So that Diyaha, so that Naha, our light, small light of intellect, which is a small little thing. So our intellect may get directed, prachodayat, may be directed by that light. Now you will see that in this mantra, there is a packed knowledge. It tells you that it is possible for we who are ignorant, we have an instrument in our being, in our body, life and mind, something is given. One instrument is capable of meditation. That instrument is our intellect. Dhimahi. Dhi is an intellectual. So we have in us a capacity called intellect, and that capacity can be utilized by concentration, and it can go to the target, which is supreme light. It can do so. This is a claim of the Vedic rishis. It doesn't say you should believe it for the granted. No, not at all. Vedic rishis were great scientists, and they tell you, you may try to meditate. We have given the method. Meditate by your intellect and think of these words of the Varenyam Bhargaha. These are indications. Try to imagine, make a picture in your mind of the most blessed luster. Make an image of it in your mind. Think of the sun. It's a kind of a help given to us. Think of the sun. And think of it all the time with a concentration. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If you can meditate, it's a difficult thing, therefore don't think that within 5 minutes you will get the end. Just as sun is very far from us, and if you throw an arrow from here, how long will it take for the arrow to reach the sun, the target? Hardly at all. It may not reach at all. For any shooting done from the earth, for it to reach the sun, may take a very, very long period. Similarly, if you think here and put your intellect and straighten it, even if you put into a huge telescope and try to see through the biggest telescope, if your thought has to reach it, it will take a lot of time. But try it. Like a scientist, you should be like a scientist who, when he is told that this can be seen, can be done, can be achieved, I don't know if you have read the lives of many, many scientists. They take the whole lifetime to achieve one article of knowledge. In recent times, for example, there has been analysis of chromosomes. I don't know if you have the word chromosomes. You have heard the word DNA, for example, to find out the composition of the cells of the human body. And there are so many constituents of it, years and years and years to determine the composition of these chromosomes. That requires patience of a scientist. Similarly, you become a scientist. That is the advice of the rishis. Do not believe because we are telling you. Rishis are very, very clear. Do not believe because we are telling you. We are only telling you so that you may be put on the quest. Make your own quest. We are giving you all the indications how you can find out. We are not keeping that secret to ourselves. We are telling you what are the means. If you have got intellect, you want to discover, it is not by stretching your arm that you will get sunlight. That is very clear. It is not by walking 100 miles that you will get sunlight. There is in you a power called intellectual power. That intellectual power, if you train it towards the sunlight and make the image of sun as your help, as an aid, and if you do it repeatedly, concentratedly, dhimayi, you must concentrate, meditate, then you will find that ultimately your intellect is driven by that light. Make an experiment and see for yourself. Now you will see that I began by telling you what is Veda. I showed you the book, this Rig Veda Samhita. I told you there are many, many verses here. In fact, if you count, there are more than 10,000 verses in this book. Many of you may be budding poets, and you must have seen, even to write 2 lines of a poem, how long does it take and how much effort you have to make. Even big poets, great poets, for them to write long, long things is a difficult task. These are 10,000 verses. You can imagine the magnitude of it. And then I told you only one mantra. Out of these, I have given you only one example. And I have shown you what is the method by which you should try to understand every mantra. Every mantra is meaningful. And every mantra tells you the object of knowledge, the method of knowledge, and the result of that knowledge. Such is this great book. And whether one likes it or not, it happens to be your first book in your history. You must feel proud that our first book starts with so much of knowledge given in a huge book of 10,000 verses. I think we stop here today because this is already a long one. But if you feel happy, we shall continue next time. Thank you. Good?